Hey now.
Oh yeah, we've got no intro. Poor Danny.
Yeah, he got the shot, and now he's a little weak.
Yeah, not fully dead though, thank God, because that's what the shots are preventing.
He's still here. He can wave.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like we should all go. I don't know, boating. I think boating's a good idea, right?
Exactly. I was going to bring up. Let's just watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. So that'll take 4 hours of his time, and he won't have to.
What did someone say?
Damn it! Wait a second.
You said the magic words that broke me out of my curse.
It's his Shazam.
Zack Snyder, I have the power.
Hey everyone,
Hey.
we are back, and yes, I was telling as we were preparing for the week, I told the guys I'm gonna go get my booster, the latest booster of the vaccine, and my flu shot on Friday evening. So we'll see what happens Saturday morning, but I feel good. I
Good.
feel invincible.
Good.
I want to go like try to stop a car right now.
Nice.
But
Nice.
we'll do that after the show. Check out the next YouTube short on the channel. It's just gonna be called Danny versus Car.
We're gonna have to start next week's show with the same image. So yeah,
Trust me, it'll be less than a minute long.
with the same image. So yeah,
Trust me, it'll be less than a minute long. Somebody's playing the video. Is it me?
Sorry.
Someone's on delay.
Oh, okay.
is that me?
No, I
No,
think it
it
was Kyle.
was me. Sorry.
Okay.
You know, I like it. I'm glad Kyle's watching the show. So,
Having that viewer.
welcome everyone. How's everybody doing? We are smack dab in the middle of like a winter day. One winter day that we get.
Yep.
So it's cold in Texas.
We had
for
a
anybody that-
downpour of rain, and now it's actually kind of cold.
Yeah. That's I see the cold front comes in, and some of the Southwest states like they'll get snow and it'll be nice and pretty. Texas gets like a storm all day and possible hail and tornado warnings, because that's what the cold air does to Texas.
Well,
Yeah.
Silver Springs actually got a tornado.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew we were under warning yesterday all afternoon, so I'm sure maybe touched down somewhere, but that's what happens. But yeah, today is nice and cold. So as you can see, Clay's cozy with his hoodie.
I
But
got the back door open for the dogs, so it's kind of cold in here.
oh, okay, that's nice. Yeah, let's get into it. So today we'll be talking about She-Hulk for our main topic. Full discussion, full spoilers. Josh finally watched it. And what better way to discuss this show than to have 4 men talk about She-Hulk?
Yep.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
As it was meant to be.
I mean, really, I'm sure the character was created for us anyway. So
Yeah, I'm just glad others took it in different directions. Let's put it that way.
the character was created because of copyright and money. Capitalism created She-Hulk. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
In the main topic. But before that, we've done it's been a long week. Josh has read a bunch of stuff, so let's kick off with Josh since he wasn't here last week. I'm sure he wants to catch up on a bunch of things.
Yeah, ironically,
I'll put you on the Bernie spot.
Thank you. Ironically, I picked up a bunch of books this week as well and haven't gotten to them yet. One of which you will talk about, Danny.
I like that. Anytime I'll just put somebody in the top position and block them out.
That's awesome. Actually, if you could do that and then like whatever comic we're showing, have like the cover on the right next to Bernie.
That's a lot of prep. We need an intern for that. Next issue intern.
So you guys probably talked about a few of these, so I don't want to like rehash stuff you've talked about. I picked up the first issue of GCPD, The Blue Wall. Anyone read this? Okay,
I did.
Danny.
Yeah, John
Okay.
Ridley. Yeah,
it was good. It's I will admit, like, it is a bit of a weird brain flip to go from this to reading the other Gotham Year One. You know, it's just like this, like
Yeah.
like having to like shift around a little bit. It's like corruption. But this is just it's one of those great books that is very much about Gotham less than it is about Batman.
Yeah.
And I love that. You know, I feel like of all of the DC cities, except maybe Opal, right, and Starman, Gotham is the one that is best suited for just stories in Gotham. You know, you don't even need the hero of Gotham, really, or heroes. That was good. I did this week pick up the newest issue of
Year One.
Yeah,
Year
I just
One.
haven't gotten around to it yet.
Yeah.
Speaking of Batman, other Batman stuff I read, just Batman Fortress #6 just continues to be amazing.
How much fun is this book, Josh?
This book is I totally agree with you. It is just like if somebody came to me and said, I just want to read a fun feeling comic book like I used to pick up off the spinner rack in the 80s and 90s. It'd be like, go read Batman Fortress. It's just
yeah,
this is
you
great.
you need like very little continuity, like to know.
Yeah.
All you need to know is like cursory knowledge of like Batman and maybe, you know, Justice League, stuff like that, but like not even like no continuity required. It's just fun shenanigans, and every issue like gets a little more ridiculous, and I'm like, this is like I didn't expect this from a Batman story. Shout out Man Cave Theater in the chat.
Hey.
Yeah, it's great. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, because as you know, I do not keep up with current lore or anything in these books. I went into this completely cold, and I think the only big bit of lore you have to know, which comes up in like issue 2, I think it's or 3, is that Lex Luthor is the president, and they fully explain that. So it's like you don't really need to know anything. It's fantastic. It's so good.
I agree. Highly agree.
Speaking of fun and things that I'm continuing to enjoy, Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead, man, just continues to be great.
I got last week.
Yeah, and this one, you know, I will say, Bruce Campbell, you know, I've only ever read his autobiography, so I don't really think of him as a writer. He's doing a totally fine job here. It's the art that I love. There is a sequence in this, let me see if I can find it, where right at the beginning, where they're there it is, where they are trying to sneak up on this like factory, and a truck is coming by, and so they shoot the truck, and it's got 2 zombies inside, and then that is the result. And it's just grim, but then also the guy down here with his tongue out, just laying on the dashboard. I don't know. This book is just, it's so much fun. I'm having such a great time with it.
I mean, when you get Eduardo Rizzo to sign up for art on your book, like, it's guaranteed that it's gonna be good, right? Like,
oh fuck yeah,
so exactly. And go ahead.
I was gonna say, there's a few like, I don't know if I call them genres, but like a few themes on comics that Rizzo does well, and it's the dead zombies. Also, you know, Batman stuff. I think his stuff on Batman's been great, but anything that's kind of like supposed to be horror related, or at least more in that darker, gritty stuff, like that's where his art just really shines.
Well, and you know, I totally agree with you, and I think the other thing I've really liked about this book is his art also feels very European in style, and so I think it works well with the setting of, you know, a bunch of American soldiers in Germany, right? They feel very out of place, and whereas, you know, the Germans and the Europeans don't. It just the art and the story and everything are just perfectly meshed. And as I've said before in this podcast, when that happens, I'm in. You know, like I'm hooked. So,
cool.
Let me do a few more.
Let's go to Kyle, and we'll come back around, because I think we're about halfway through your list. So Kyle, what's up with you? What you been up
Didn't get
to?
much read this week, but I watched a little bit of stuff. They released Blockbuster on Netflix yesterday,
Oh, I want to
Oh,
watch that.
how is it?
How is it?
hence my nickname.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's Randall Park, playing, being the owner of the last Blockbuster in the U.S. or in the world, and in the cast it plays this, it's interesting. You got, what's her name? I can't remember her name, but
Melissa Fumero
Yeah.
Huh?
From
from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
oh yeah, I think it's Arrow. I was like Arrow.
No, Melissa Fumero.
Yeah, oh yeah, from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and she plays like his long lost, his one of his best friends from high school. His best friend, the best friend from high school, is the sort of party city owner of who's a party owner, shop owner, but also is the landlord for the whole shopping strip mall that they're
Oh,
in.
I think that's JB Smooth, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I love JB Smith.
Yeah.
He plays the plant on
He's great. He's great on Harley. Yeah.
Harley, yeah.
oh.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. It's different, but I'm about halfway through, but it's just one of these things like Randall Park. He gets the call that Corbett's been faded in, so now he's in charge of having to do everything. He's having to, make sure everything's covered rent. He wants to fire somebody, but he can't because he's got a reason for not letting him go. He goes, "I am now your new Blockbuster daddy," and they're like going, "I don't think that term means what you think it does." But and then you got he's got his parents who are in a retirement community, but they're So I don't know the actress who plays his mom, but his dad is the same actor who played his dad in what was that movie he did a couple years ago? It was Love Maybe, or
Oh yeah, I mean yeah.
with Annie, or I can't remember the other Asian actor he was with. His father.
Let me be your maybe or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. The actor who plays his father in that is playing his father in this series.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like and so it's kind of a lot of fun. It brings back a lot of memories, and they have one. The cast is, you have the one black actress who's JB Smoothie's daughter, who's 16. It's basically the most down to like realistic kind of employee they have. You have an older Hispanic woman who is basically there because she's like everybody's grandmother, but you get the one joke is she can't get past falling asleep past, like, she calls 7 o'clock the witching hour. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, you have what's the actress's name? Madeline Arthur, who's like the 20-something old who's really naive and basically but is very friendly. But this is how smart she is. She comes in and goes, "Yeah, I didn't know what you know. Somebody came and asked you for this one movie, but I got it debacled with a human centipede. So I just want to let you know if anybody calls in, there might be an issue." So she closes the door, comes back in, and she goes, "Yeah, I just want to let you know the school administrator for all the schools in the area is on the phone. He sounds very pissed." Here, and she puts the phone in the ground and goes, "Hello, is anybody there?" And this is while they're trying to figure out who they need to let go, who they can fire, so he can afford stuff in the.
That's awesome.
Downsizing, classic Office Beat.
Yeah, so yeah, it's I think it's a lot of fun. And then I watched. The reason I'm putting this in there is because I watched. I thought they might take a break after the last two-parter, but no, they aired episode 9. Oh, and this is a bit of news. So they aired episode 9 of Stargirl season 3 this week. Reason I bring this up because you find out who the hidden big baddie is in the episode. And this ties. Oh my god! If this doesn't tie you right back into JSA history, nothing will. Ultra Humanite.
Whoa.
Oh,
I don't even know who
what?
that is.
Oh my god!
Hang
Isn't
on.
that like a Silver Age cut?
Yeah,
We're talking Golden Age. No, we're talking Golden Age.
Golden Age?
Yes. The
Hang
Ultra
on.
Humanite was basically Superman's big baddie before Luthor was.
Oh my god.
Now I only know from the Justice League animated, but it is the same one. Okay, yeah, the big
Yeah,
ape.
and he's a scientist who basically eventually transplants his body into the body of a white gorilla.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
in.
yeah,
Was
I'm
this
in.
was this created during that whole Gorillas Uncover Cell Comics period?
No,
of DC?
no, Ultra Humanite's been around since the 40s. The gorilla's been around.
Damn. All right.
And,
They've been doing gorilla gags for a long time.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Josh, have you never watched the Christmas episode of Justice League?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god.
Gorillas
Okay,
Cell Comics.
Daniel, you're off the
Yep.
hook.
Listen, hey, listen. I may not go back all the way, but I love
Oh.
Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
You've seen the Christmas episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't.
I
Come
haven't.
on, Josh. What's wrong with you?
I know. Hey, look, if I had $1 for everything I haven't seen,
True.
I'd be a rich man. There you go.
But the
I'm
reason
dead
I
to
wanted to bring
everyone.
this up is because the CW announced this week that basically Stargirl's been canceled.
I saw that. Yeah.
Horse shit.
Yeah, but I mean, with the decisions they've been making, you could see it coming.
Well,
Oh hell, they canceled Westworld.
I know. And that's,
But I've heard that. I mean, is anyone here watching Westworld?
No.
us, no, but I know a lot of people that are, and they were very like almost like Game of Thrones watching it. So
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I've heard that third season is such a clusterfuck that people were bailing left and
Oh,
right, and
okay.
even the recap was confusing people.
Ugh,
uh,
that's
Yeah.
not good.
one bit of news is Jeff Johns did come out and say that since they know about the ending, that we should be satisfied with they are going to. I guess season 3 will conclude like the actual story. So if it's coming from not Jeff Johns, I'm sorry, James Robinson. Oh my god,
I was about to say, who let Jeff Johns speak?
Yeah.
James Robinson. I'm sorry.
I mean, no,
God, I hope he's gonna just wedge in Jack Knight.
I know. I was about to ask, so that'd be awesome.
So we do have a new Golden Age thing next week that it is
I
by
know.
Johns and a bunch of writers, a bunch
Oh.
of creators. They're bringing back the Justice Society. This is the precursor comic to that. So because there's a new
They're
Justice
already back. It's not. They're finally getting a.
Yeah,
comic.
they're getting sorry. I meant the series, not the characters.
No, I thought there was a one shot.
Well, no, but after this, they're doing a Justice Society of America series.
Got it.
Okay, quick math for everyone to help me figure this out. So
Oh, boy.
so Jack Knight was obsessed with what decade?
Like the 40s,
Okay, and
The
so that
30s.
the 30s.
30s and 40s. I mean, but
Yeah.
he's also with the heroes. But I mean, all
Why
the
would you
heroes-
ask me that?
I'm asking everyone because I'm trying to figure out if Jack Knight was a character in the 90s who was obsessed with the 30s and 40s.
Oh.
If he was a modern day character today, how many decades back would it go and what would he be obsessed
I
with?
think he'd still be the same because I mean, if he's the son of the Starman, he'd
Well,
still be. I mean,
I mean, if it's the 60s, that can get kind of interesting. With
I
like,
was just thinking that too. It'd be like
because
this.
if it's about 60 years, right? I
Yeah.
think the 60s would be an interesting decade to be obsessed about with all the because you can go either way, like
Yeah.
very tech heavy with like space exploration and all that, or hippies.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, there was a
or-
fashion element to Starman too, like
Yeah.
the episode with the shirts. You know
Yeah.
that I always thought was interesting. That you know, even if you go into the '60s in fashion, it could be relatable to Starman.
Well, and see, I would think because again, I agree about the fashion thing. I think he would pick the subset of the '60s being the mod era, right?
Oh, that's
And
really
focus-
good.
And focus on that because that has that whole kind of like cultural fashion sensibility around it. So
No.
Holy
Josh-
shit! I can see Jack just flying around on one of those. Was it the Vespas? They were all Vespas, right?
Oh,
Modded
wait,
Vespas.
is this like car modification?
No, they were like.
They're
Go
like
watch
scooter.
Quadrophenia. Go watch. I'm going to give you some homework. Have you ever seen Quadrophenia?
No.
No.
Oh my gosh! Come on, Kyle, get with it.
he's
The
dead
Who!
now.
The
Now-
Who! He's dead.
Now Kyle's dead.
I'm still here.
One of the great Who movies is Quadrophenia, and Quadrophenia has an incredible soundtrack, but it's about the mods versus the greasers,
Oh.
and it
Wait.
gives you a.
Time out. Is this why the mods in Django, Book of Boba Fett, are the mods, and they ride the Vespas?
Bingo.
Holy fucking shit! Why are people not excited about that? That's like what George Lucas loves, right? Oh
It
my
is.
God.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe you. He's dead again. I love when I'm explaining history to Dave.
Yeah, this is my way out.
It's
now.
But yeah, the mods always dressed up and had these Vespas with all these rear view mirrors on it. It was a style of the day, and they were very much against the more of the greaser types that were. I mean, I'm trying to think of like a TV that or a character that's kind of iconic, made it iconic, but maybe the Fonz. Would you say
That's
the
what I was
Fonz was a
thinking.
greaser type?
I was thinking the Fonz. I was thinking
Danny Zuko.
Dady Zuko, yeah, Grease, those
Um,
characters.
Marlon Brando from The Wild Ones.
Yep.
Yep. So
But you're only going to see mods in Quadrophenia. I don't think mods are ever in any other kind of.
and in Book of Boba Fett now.
Book of Boba Fett.
I mean, I would say mod style. Like the entire opening of the first Austin Powers movie is a kind of mod reference.
Check out the originals by Dave Gibbons.
Yeah. Okay.
But the art in that is spot on because he, I believe, grew up in that time period and knew the art style.
No, what about anything by China Custom Majors? Who Blue Monday, Scooter Girl, and that's all mod based, and that's kind of where I got my first,
Yeah, she's wearing very 60s clothing. So she's got like that Twiggy look to her. So I'm talking above everyone's age range right now. So
hey, I know who Twiggy is. All right.
So do I. I watched River and Shirley growing up.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's out.
I've killed him.
Anytime Bernie comes on, it just goes over my head. Like, you guys have a nice conversation. I'll come back in a minute.
But Quadrophenia is really fucking good. It'll tie you into some other comics, so I really recommend it.
Cool. All right, Kyle. What else? You got anything else?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to me for a minute, and then we'll come back around. So I finally watched. My recommendation for last week was Barbarian because it finally hit HBO.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about this.
And I watched it, and I really enjoyed the movie. I think it's a really fucking cool movie. But I recommend. I'm not. That's all I'm going to tell you. I don't want to really get into any details or anything because I think this is one of those movies that's best enjoyed by you not really knowing anything about the movie, like prior to going into it. And I can already tell Kyle's already in the Wikipedia.
No.
I'm just trying to add it to my watch list. Hang on.
Yeah, please. It's on HBO Max now. So
yeah, I would say it's a really good horror film. Don't read spoilers or just go into it blind.
I think, man. So between this and X, like we've had a pretty. I mean, there's other horror movies out there, but like those are kind of the ones at the top of my list right now for 2022. You should watch X, and then also I'm trying to get to watch Pearl, which is the prequel to X. Ty West is just also doing some amazing stuff. So I'm so glad. It looks like horror's kind of had a renaissance like in the past few years.
I just feel like some of the commercialized stuff isn't as good. Like Halloween Ends just kind of shit the bed there.
Mark wasn't letting you defend 3, 4, or 5.
Oh well, I will always defend 3. 3 is iconic to me. I think if anyone watches 3 and doesn't associate it with the Halloween movies would enjoy it.
Yeah, but Barbarian, really good, really fun.
What do you think of I'm trying to ask you questions without giving spoilers away, but probably what was your favorite moment?
40 minutes into the movie.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a timing thing. They do this movie well with the horror tropes that are available. And wow, okay, I will tell Daniel something though. When they go in the back and they find that first room, remember that first room they find down the long hallway? That is what my what is that fucking animal? What is that game on Nintendo?
Oh, Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing. I made an Animal Crossing room that looked like that. And Shelby goes, that looks like your room in Animal Crossing. It's so creepy.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
That's because we can't have basements in Texas.
Yeah.
So we have to go towards video games to, get our dreams realized.
Yeah. The only way I can describe this movie is it's a nightmare. It's nightmare choice after nightmare choice as you go along.
Yeah.
Like there's no good other option.
It's really good. Performances are great. The music is really cool too. Like all throughout the movie, like great music choices. I highly recommend that.
There's a guy who isn't the lead but shows up 40 minutes into the movie that this may be my favorite thing he's done.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. I also watched this morning. I watched the Weird Al Yankovic story on just Roku. Like I went to the Roku website and there it was. So
yeah.
How do you have this much time in the morning? I barely had time to go myself and
I woke up at 6.
Coffee. 6?
I woke up at 6 and I couldn't go back to sleep. And I'm like, whatever. Ever since going back to the office because I wake up at 6 those days.
Oh yeah.
And you're just used to it.
Yeah. The rest of the week, like until tomorrow we get an extra hour, so I'll try to sleep in.
That's good.
But But yeah, weird. What a fun movie. Like it reminds me of. I mean, it's what Weird Al did to songs, but to a music biography, right? A music autobiography.
Oh, that's awesome. I hadn't even
It's
thought of
the
it
same
that
thing.
way.
It gave me a lot of vibes from those early 2000 comedies that like, like Walk Hard and like
Yes,
even Talladega Nights,
Oh yeah.
where everything is super serious, but obviously it's all made for the fun of it. And there's like tons of cameos of like both people, because it is autobiographical, like it's about real people, but then also like the people that are portraying those people. So it's very meta that way.
do you want to
And it
give
just
away one cameo?
Sure, you pick one. I guess your favorite one, maybe.
Conan O'Brien plays
Oh,
Andy
yeah.
Warhol.
He plays what?
Andy Warhol. So if that makes you laugh, then you're gonna love the fucking cameos. At
Yeah.
one point during the movie, I looked at Shelby and said, "This is the level of Tropic Thunder laughter that I had when I saw Tropic Thunder."
Yeah.
Nice.
The
Nice.
the fun part for me is that I don't initially understand like the cameos or like who it's supposed to be until they do the thing they do, right?
Yeah.
There's a very specific one where I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And then he does the thing that he's known for, and I'm like, okay, I know who it is. So yeah, those are really fun. Obviously, the music, like if you like Weird Al music or the original songs, you're gonna like the songs in the movie. But
I mean, the
it's
story
fun.
itself is
Yeah.
great because it's like
Yeah.
his whole thing is, I just want to make music
Yeah.
based on previous music and make up new words to it. Like
Mhm.
his idea of parody and the way he wants to do it is so funny. And his parents, like just the story itself with his parents fighting
Yeah.
him
and
against
then
it
how
is
that
so
comes
good.
back, like the twist there is really fun. They also play with history a little bit, and I really like that. Like the original song, I'll call it. Like,
What
all that
about
stuff
the
is-
action sequence?
Oh, really cool, really fun.
Holy shit. Yeah.
It's so much. Daniel Radcliffe is really like. Look, I love him in the Harry Potter movies,
Multi-talented.
but he's just a really good actor. Like he's just really good.
No shit. Like
and
you're
he
going
is-
through it and you're like, this is fuck Harry Potter.
Yeah. And he's ripped as shit too. There's he spends a lot of time without his shirt on in this movie.
Yeah. Once
I
he
think-
has his LSD trip and is reborn,
Yeah,
not
it's
to
so
spoil
cool.
anything. I mean, it's just fucking weird. Like I could tell you think she'd be like,
Yeah, that means
what?
nothing to anyone. So
Yeah,
I highly
and-
recommend it. It's about 2 hours. I think I watched it. There was a couple of ads and like 2 breaks for me,
Yeah.
but I don't know. But that's because I didn't sign into Roku or anything. Like I just watched it on the Roku.
Oh, that's cool.
Just on the
Is
Roku
it-
website. I'd have to sign up or download anything.
Oh, you can watch it on the Roku site.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
it
I
has
just
commercials.
pulled it up on my iPad and then
Oh,
I
shit.
just
No, okay. I thought I had to have Roku period and pay for it to watch it.
no.
Oh no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
No, you
Is
just
it
download it.
rated R or is it rated PG-13?
There's no.
I would say it's PG-13.
I think it has to be PG-13 because there's no. I don't think there's a lot of cussing and there's definitely no like overly sexual things.
Okay.
I would remember.
Yeah, I mean, when you have Madonna in it, you expect that.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't do any of it. Like
But-
she just
but
plays
yeah.
Madonna so well.
Really great. Like really, like I like this version. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and like I said, the Daniel Radcliffe is just really great. And like I said, I think the delightful thing was just all the cameos of both real people and then the actor. The real people that the actors are portraying, and then who is portraying those people. I
Yeah.
think that's a lot of fun because I'm like, how do you have the time? When did you have the time to do this? Also, how did you get talked into doing this? It
Yeah.
feels like a labor of love. Like Weird Al just called everyone that he knows, and they're like, "Hey, you
Yes.
got a day or two to shoot something."
Weirdly enough, it's not rated.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't need to be, It just lives on the internet, and you can't buy it digitally right now. I don't think there's gonna be a Blu-ray. I think this is just forever gonna live on that Roku channel website, and their service or the app or whatever you use.
I feel really dumb because I thought the actress playing Oprah Winfrey was Sherry Shepard, but it's Quinta Brunson from
Quinta Brunson from
Abbott Elementary, which I'm fully caught up of and digging that show so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. Also, I watched the finale of The Patient.
What?
The Patient is a Hulu show with Steve Carell and
Yeah.
Donald Gleason, our lovable General Hux, who is not as lovable in this one. The premise is that this guy kidnaps his psychiatrist and locks him up in his basement, and then kind of things unfold from there. But it's really cool. It's like 10 episodes, 30 minutes each. Both performers are great, and I like that the show did not cower away from the way that it ended. So I think they made some really fun choices towards the end. Josh, let us know how you're doing now that you're back, or not.
Okay. Sorry.
And then just real quick, no spoilers or anything. Andor is just fucking amazing. Like, if
oh my god, it's so good.
Andor is the best Star Wars thing that's come out in a long, long time.
And they didn't even drop the guest or the big,
Yeah, there's like people showing up, and I'm like,
there.
what the fuck is happening? And so good, so good.
Andy Serkis, man, is the fucking dude.
Yeah,
like I could watch him do anything. I love him in all the Ape movies, but when he's playing himself, and you just see how serious he can get, like in this past episode, so good.
Yeah, he's fantastic. So really enjoying that. We do have reviews for that dropping usually on Wednesdays, sometimes on Thursdays if I got to go to the office. Let me stop there. Let's go back to Clay, and then we'll see if Josh gets back. If not, I'll pick up the rest of my list. Clay.
A quick debate roundtable here. Which reunion movie do you guys like better, Grosse Pointe Blank or Romy and Michelle's high school reunion?
Oh,
Daniel,
that's a hard. I almost put them as equals, honestly.
Okay,
that means nothing to me, Clay.
So you've never seen either one of these films?
Oh God, I mean they're both staples of the '90s. It's really hard to say which one's better, and they're both good. So that's why it's hard to say which one's better.
Yeah, I kind of polled some friends, and I had 2 out of 3 pick Romy and Michelle as like the better film.
Well, Clay, we can throw a poll up in our Twitter.
If you do that,
if you give me names of stuff, because I only see one in your notes, and I don't know what the other thing was you said.
The other movie is called Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion. I'm watching them both for Unsocial
I think
Spectators.
The best reunion movie is American Reunion.
No, not even.
Because it's the only one I've seen, and the only one I could think of.
Oh my
God. That movie does help that series move along better, but these are different. Like, okay, so I watched Grosse Pointe Blank last night, and it's John Cusack who's played like high school dudes, and
it's a classic film.
It is a classic film, and so in this film, he took he wrote the character based on the Reagan administration. He goes, how could a guy go to work all day, kill people, plan wars, plan devastation, and then go have a wife and kids and a family? And so that's how he wrote this hitman who has to return to his 10-year high school reunion that takes place in 1980, or he graduated in 86. And so he's returning in 96 for his 10-year reunion. And what's even weirder is in Hot Tub Time Machine, he goes back to 1986 too. So John Cusack, I guess for all intents and purposes, is a graduate of 1986.
It was a good year, I hear.
I mean,
yeah, you hear.
I mean, you got Dan Aykroyd playing the rival assassin. You've got John Cusack putting his martial arts skills to use against Benny the Jet.
Benny the Jet is his kickboxing instructor.
Yeah.
And so he comes into the movie, and they have this great fight in the hallway. And if you look at that school, you can see it's the same hallway they used in 16 Candles and all these other high school movies. But now you've got 2 kickboxers going at each other like Hitman and trying to kill each other. It's real weird because you're watching a guy who has become a hitman, who's not really a great guy, but going through an existential crisis of trying to figure out what life is and what he enjoys. And Dan Aykroyd's trying to recruit him to join a union of hitmen so that they can take over more jobs and become almost like a corporate entity to be able to lowball or be able to highball hits. I love it. It has a great soundtrack. Joe Strummer is the musical advisor on the series, so you've got a lot of Clash music.
Josh,
Yes.
if you had to choose, which is the better reunion movie? Romy and Michelle's high school reunion or Grosse Pointe Blank?
Oh, don't make me pick between them.
See, I'm not alone.
I love both of them. Why?
Oh, those are the movies we're talking about on my other podcast.
okay.
But I watched Grosse Pointe Blank last night. I fucking love the soundtrack. Like I have a better respect for the music or for the story in this one. Again, I love both of them equally.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both great, but they're revisits to the 80s during the 90s for Gen Xers who had graduated trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. And it's come from two different places because in Grosse Pointe Blank, this guy is a hitman who's trying to deal with the fact that he's going back, but he tells three people to their face, I'm a professional killer.
Yeah.
And they just kind of laugh it off because he's kind of a humorous guy and they expect that. And then they find out he really is a killer.
Mm-hmm.
In Romy and Michelle, it's more about returning to your high school and being somebody, like how important it is to impress these people you don't give a fuck about. And this is so close. This is like a decade predating Facebook. So, you know, we had reunions. That was the only way we kept in touch and shit like that. And so Romy and Michelle's high school reunion shows two best friends who have remained best friends through high school and are just so great. Like they love each other and their bond is so important and incredible. And I was like going, does Grosse Pointe Blank have that moment? And it does. When John Cusack kills a guy, his best friend from high school shows up and he's like, what the hell? And he goes, help me hide this body. And he doesn't even question him. Jeremy Piven pulls down a banner. They roll up a body and they're going to dispose of it. And I'm like, that's a real friend.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't ask any questions, but he'll help you hide the body. And I love it.
You know, and I would add both movies have stellar, I don't want to call them cameos, but like kind of like side actors. So Dan Aykroyd as his boss in that, like, to me, that was the start of Dan Aykroyd's like second phase of his career, because prior to that, he was just kind of languishing. He did like, God, was he in Driving Miss Daisy? He was in Driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah, he was
My Girl.
He was their son.
My Girl. And then in Romy and Michelle, it's oh God, I just blanked on his name. Irish guy.
Garofalo?
No. Well, her too.
Alan Cummings.
Cummings, as basically like the Elon Musk of of their high school. So
yeah, I look at it and I go, like, did you go to anyone go to their reunions?
I went to my wife's, which I have a fun side story to tell you guys in a second. And then we had, my high school was so small, we had like an unofficial like gathering. I think it like year, God, I don't know, like 15, 16. I think we just kind of like randomly got together for homecoming. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My reunions, I went to one. It was shit. I'll never go again. I don't. Daniel, come on, man.
He's
like, I haven't even had a high school reunion. I'm not old. I'm not that old.
You know, it's funny you say that. When it came down to the 10-year reunion, things quickly fell apart on whatever Facebook group it was being planned on.
Oh no.
And then it ended up being like somebody was like, okay, well, I can do something, but then I'll have to charge or whatever. And it turns out like that they were some kind of like party planner person that had a side hustle. And I'm like, this is dumb. I'm leaving. I don't. The people that I wanted to stay in touch with high school, I've stayed in touch with them. So I don't need to see everyone else.
Yeah, I have two friends from high school, and that's all I need.
Heck, on the alternate Wednesday nights that we have the game that you're in, Clay. Yeah. The other Wednesday night, it's basically all my friends from high school and college.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
That's good. That's a good team you've got together.
Yeah. So I may have told this story before on here, but if not, when I went to my wife's 10-year reunion, which, by the way, if you can go to your partner's high school reunion, that is the way to do it, because nobody there knows you. You get all the good gossip and stories. There's no like, who am I now? Who was I then? Like, it's the best. I loved it. It drives her nuts because I had such a good time. Why would you reunite with high school ball? But, and again, I may have said
to do before the internet.
Yeah, I may have said that. Yeah, exactly. You didn't have like Facebook or Instagram.
I guess that's what happens when you don't watch a lot of those people become like worse, like on social media.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
As the years go by, like, oh, you're a shit person. Why were we ever like associated in high school?
I know. That's when you discover, oh, these are just people that grew up near me. I have nothing in common with them. They just lived like a block over and had a kid my age.
Yeah, we just happen to have to go to the same district. So,
and we had to go to the same school for 12 years in a row, and that's it.
So I have to I guess this is a humble brag. I don't know. So when I was at my wife's reunion, one of her friends from high school was there, and we were hanging, like that little cluster got back together, and it was a guy by the name of Mark Menchaca. Now he's an actor. He was then like he had a few roles in like oh God, what was the World War II series? Band of Brothers. He had been in that a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Clay found it. He started dating Lena Headey, and they just got married a week or two ago in Italy. And this kind of stuff is popping up in my newsfeed just because, like, I've Googled Mark Menchaca. Yeah, there he is. I've met that guy.
So he went to high school with your wife.
Yep. In
Lena Headey in Dredd is like maybe one of the best fucking Dredd villains.
Absolutely.
Like on paper and off.
And now get this. So they grew up in San Angelo, Texas. When we went there last time to see like an old friend of my wife, she was talking about how she ran into Mark. Mark brings Lena Headey home for like holidays. She goes to San Angelo, Texas.
I dig it.
I dig it too. I think it's awesome. Yeah.
I totally want to hang out with Lena Headey and just ask her questions.
Yeah, exactly. I keep saying Headey, I mean Headley, but yeah. Isn't that incredible?
Josh has been holding out on this great hookup for the show.
Well, the joke I keep giving my wife is, man, why didn't we get invited to the wedding? God. I mean,
did they have a Game of Thrones theme wedding?
I know, but I was reading. This is like the only like I don't know, like Hollywood article that I kind of read. There were Game of Thrones actors at their wedding, so I believe Dinklage was there. I know, it's like holy crap.
Oh my God, I would just be I would be the worst. I would just sit there and be like asking questions. I was like, so when you were an elf, was that fun?
Yeah. Jen said the same thing. She's like, we probably didn't get invited because of you. I'm like, yeah, all right, fair point. So
they're like, sorry, no normies.
Yeah, no normies. Yeah, see,
wow.
See, there it is.
Hey, looked like a fun wedding. I would fit right in.
I love it.
Holy shit, that's cool. So that's my reminiscence about Gen X and high school reunions. That's why we talk about it. I just don't think anyone past Generation X is having real reunions because you have
social media. Oh God. So yeah, so we're gonna have like we're the last generation of I mean, why would you
you don't need them because you're seeing these people still like constantly on your social media. And
yeah, I mean the best feeling after high school would be to unfollow all those fuckers.
Yeah.
But
I have to see them ever again.
I'm off of Facebook, so I've done that already.
let me make a smooth transition to the next voices of our generation. With the movie I watched, Orgasmo.
Yes, man.
Daniel, have you seen Orgasmo?
I've seen it.
Don't make me put up the Bernie.
This is a full Bernie episode from you. Jesus, man. I watched Orgasmo. It came out in 97. I don't think there's a bigger voice from Generation X than Matt and Trey from South Park. I mean, who's doing more social commentary and satire and parody than those two since the 90s? And they started in 93 with Cannibal the Musical. Orgasmo on the rewatch, still pretty funny, kind of an uncomfortable watch with some of the actors that are in it that are now in jail.
Yep.
But it's Trey early. It's pre-South Park.
Yeah.
So this is multiple people that are in jail after this movie.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It got released finally after South Park's success, right?
Right, and that was the main reason it got released. But it had been made before with Matt and Trey in it. And from what I read, Trey wrote and directed most of it. Matt helped write some of it. Their first movie, Cannibal the Musical, is a Troma film.
Yeah.
Again, we go back to Troma and Lloyd Kaufman and look at Lloyd Kaufman's influence on our generation. And if he hasn't had a bigger influence on, I mean, if you look at South Park and what he's done with Matt and Trey, because he helped finance their movies, because you would go from Orgasmo to what's Team World Police, their next movie.
Oh, yeah.
Just look at who's got the start from Kaufman. It's the Train Matt, James Gunn.
Yeah, and now they have a huge influence on entertainment. So it is insane that Lloyd Kaufman has had such this big influence on what we're going to be seeing. I absolutely love Trey and Matt and the South Park stuff. I'm not current on the show.
Neither am I.
No one.
Orgasmo, if you've never seen it, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It doesn't have deep social commentary.
South Park.
Basketball's pretty good too.
Basketball's pretty good.
I've seen Basketball. I think I have a DVD of Basketball somewhere in my house.
Yeah.
The thing that's great about Orgasmo is it takes that old trope of like young country bumpkin goes to big city, but then they inflect it with their own stuff. So they're both like missionaries.
It's Kingpin, but instead of bowling, it's porn.
Yeah, exactly.
We should have had Lego in this episode instead of me, I think.
Last few things I want to touch on. We just got this in the mail. I hope it doesn't glare so that Kyle can be jealous.
Oh, I got that on the Xbox.
Oh, Turtle. It's okay. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, this is the from the collector's edition.
Wait. Nice.
That's for Xbox. I thought that was with Switch copy.
It is Switch.
Okay.
I send out trading cards, limited run.
Oh, very cool.
Like, it's still in plastic. I haven't even opened it yet.
Did you get that through Fangamer?
I think so. Shelby ordered it.
Okay.
That's right. You guys didn't just download it.
We like having the physical copies of things. Yeah. Like we got Doki Doki Literature Club. We got the physical copy of that because that game's fucking insane.
I have always meant to play that. And that also sounds like the kind of game I know just enough that I want to play it, but not too much that it's going to spoil it. So, yeah.
I've been playing a board game that I absolutely love that I picked up at Half Price Books called The Lost Expedition.
Huh.
It is probably a half-hour quick game. You can play solo board gaming. You're just trying to get your adventurer through it and through a series of 9 places. And you have all these different things you have to fight, and you only have the cards in your hand. So you can like gain food, lose food, but you just have to have one explorer make it to the end to win. And I have never won the game, but I love playing it. Like, it's just a challenge to get there every time. So if any of you guys are solo board gamers, The Lost Expedition is fucking awesome. I really, really love it. I think you can find it for around $20, and it's mainly just cards and tokens. And the last thing was Halloween Ends. Do we want to get into this? Who saw Halloween Ends?
I'm not going to watch
it. I thought we talked about it last episode a lot.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. I couldn't remember if it was I talked with y'all.
Don't worry, we've already bashed the movie enough, I think.
Yeah. Which is sad because wasn't the one before this like highly regarded? Oh, did it?
At least to me, only the 2018 one was good.
Oh.
Yeah. Right. The first one, I enjoyed the second one for the kills because it had some really cool kills in it. But in this one didn't have shit. Like, I was really just bummed out. So it made me go watch Halloween 4, 5, and 6. Like, those are better than Halloween Ends, and they're shit.
They're shit.
All right, cool.
I mean, I say they're shit. They're not that bad. Danielle Harris is awesome in it. It's really scary when the threat is going after a small child, and that child is very aware, and she's a good actress, so you're just like terrified for her.
Let's do Halloween versus Damien.
What?
Like Michael Myers versus Damien.
But he's like the king of hell.
Damien, like the devil's child. Damien.
I mean, what movie is it? What movie are you talking
about? The Omen.
The Omen. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, but to be fair, Lego has like 3 different videos like that are an hour long on the channel on their YouTube. So go check those out. I think you guys would enjoy it. If you enjoy Halloween, I think it's a really fun breakdown of everything. Cool. Josh, what else you want to talk about the rest of your list?
Yeah, I'll go through mine. I added one more thing real quick, but yeah. So I'm continuing to read Action Journalism. This is issue 2. Again, like the first issue, it's tons of fun. I didn't like this one as much. It felt a little kind of brief and short, and that's fine. But I did appreciate in the opening, by the writer and creator, he talks about how, you know, he actually says, "Hey, if you're joining us for the first time, don't worry, you don't have to read the last issue." He's trying to keep every issue kind of self-contained. So I know I keep harping on this, but it feels like reading comics in the 80s. You just pick one up, you read it, you get a good story. That's about it. There is a backup story that is by the same writer, but the art is just killer. It's Max Sarin, and I love this art. Yep. It's just a little 2-page.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Which is no disservice to the core artist on this, which is still fantastic. I love it.
Yep.
So.
And if you have a Hoopla through your library, you can actually borrow these issues as they come out.
Really? Oh,
I went to check. I think it maybe like a week delay, but I went to check after you talked about the first issue.
Okay.
Because I was trying to get some screenshots. We did tweet out to the clip to the creative team behind it, and they really appreciated Josh talking about issue 1. So really cool.
And issue 2, like again, just it's a lot of fun. It's just great. I read Wakanda #1.
Yeah, great cover. Is that Brian Stillfreeze?
Is it?
I think the cover might be still freeze. It looks like.
Hang on.
Looks like his paint job because it's.
No, it is Mateus Manahini.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was good. It was also fun. It was. I think I enjoyed the backup story more because I came into this wanting the history of Wakanda, and the backup story is that history.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if this is. Oh, go ahead.
These so it's a mini series that'll focus on each one of the characters from the world of Wakanda that is not Black Panther. That's
right.
Part 1 of the story. But then in the backup story, you're gonna get like these little vignettes of the history of the Black Panther, all the way from the beginning, from the retcon 10,000, whatever 1 billion BC or whatever Avengers, to the present. So it's a book to get you hyped up for more Wakanda because of course the movie's coming out, but also to familiarize you with the characters. And also it seems like T'Challa is on the oust with Wakanda, like he's been kicked out of the Wakanda nation. I haven't read why.
Yeah, I don't know why either. I do also, I don't know if this had already been established. You guys will probably know, and I won't, but I didn't realize that in ancient Wakandan history, the Brood were there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, with the Avengers 10. Yeah, this is all kind of retcon stuff.
Is it? Okay.
Okay.
It's very recent from Jason Aaron's 1 billion, Avengers 1 billion BC or whatever.
Dude, and then I can't wait to get the omnibus of that.
Yeah.
I am probably, again, as an art historian, I love any comic with endnotes. So.
Oh, God. That stopped being a comic and became a book.
Woo! I love it. Speaking of, let's see. I did read Miracle Man #1, Silver Age.
Yeah, I picked up. I think I got the same cover.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Noto?
Yeah, and it's great. I don't think I'd realized how. So this was all originally produced in '91, and only now is it getting released. The art is beautiful. Mark Buckingham. Gaiman really has a sense of where he wants to take Moore's story. So it's great. And there's this fascinating aspect of like, so they bring back is it Kid
Miracle?
No, hang on.
Miracle Kid?
No, Young Miracle Man. So he's like the last one that hadn't come back yet. And so they revive him, and it's interesting how he reacts because he's being revived in the Miracle Man world at the end of Moore's series. So they're basically gods. And he's like, I don't want to be a god. Like, what is happening here? I just want to go punch Nazis, man. You know, it's like, so it's kind of interesting. Backing that up, I did read the reproduction of the Marvel family.
I have that one too. I picked it up because I picked it up because it was an old reprint. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But then as I was doing research for Black Adam, I realized that that's Black Adam's first appearance.
Yep.
Reprinted. So we're millionaires.
Can I just point out how very The Rock
I know.
the original Black Adam looked?
He has my hairline.
Yeah, exactly. He should be played by like Bela Lugosi, you know, which it almost seems like he's modeled after. But
yeah, he looks like he should just be like an older dude.
Exactly.
So anyway, the Rock just said, "Screw the hairline. I'm just gonna shave it all off."
Yeah.
Right. Hey, I had that morning, and that was the morning my wife said, "You can't see the bald spot right here. You might want to shave it." So, Love Everlasting.
Woo.
Man, still confused me. This is the first issue where, as it all kind of came together at the end, I was like, "Ah, crap."
Yeah, yeah. Tom King's about to Tom King really hard.
Yeah. Yes.
He's gonna push down on the sad button.
Yep. Yeah. Well, he's been leaning on it, but he's about to like go. He's got a secondary sad button.
Double sad.
He has the sadder button.
Him and Elsa just have the keys about to turn them.
Still reading Immortal Red Sonja. This is number 7. It's finally starting to pick back up again, which I'm happy about. It kind of had a lull there for a while. Again,
I read Red Sonja year 1.
Okay.
I think, or no, Invincible Red Sonja. Whatever. Like this one came out very recently, like maybe last month.
Okay.
Which I really also enjoyed. So I thought about, because you've been reading that one, I thought about maybe picking that one up.
This one, and I mean, this is the only one I've read since Gail Simone's original run on Red Sonja years and years ago. Again, this is written by Dan Abnett, who's, at least in my mind, most known for writing like Warhammer novels and stuff.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, did he write that?
You're like, you may be the only one that relates him first to the
Abnett and Lanning have been a team in comics for a long time.
Yeah.
They've just always been a team, and they've only been apart for like the last 10 years.
Interesting. I did not know that, but okay.
Yep.
And finally, I picked this up, the Terrors Through Time one shot, mainly because I like this VHS cover. I need to give it another shot. I don't know, just like maybe I just am not in the mood for these like little short bites of stories or what. But I mean, when the first story is The Phantom Stranger and I'm not getting into it.
I felt the same way.
Okay, so it's not just me then. I'm glad.
I really like this story with John and Damien, because I really like to see them together as kids.
And that's where I noped out. I got to that story now, and it's not because I don't like them as characters. I was just kind of like, I'm not feeling this.
Same. Yeah, I just threw it back into my read pile when I feel like, I want a short story, or if I just want to consume something quick. That's where I.
This is a book I was talking about.
Okay.
Jim Sub's writing this, so
man, that's really beautiful.
Who's writing?
Jim Sub.
Jim Sub. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, Clay, because I was worried it was just me or there was like something I wasn't getting.
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't really grab me. So, and then the very last thing, I picked these up. I still need to read them. I'm still reading Ultra 7. This may or may not be my last issue. It just depends.
I read it. I'm still interested to see the next issue.
Okay. And then Ran V's Detective Comics. This may also be a make or break issue for me because well, it's getting so convoluted that I don't know what the fuck is going on.
It did start off a lot more streamlined.
Yeah. So it's like more and more layers are being piled on, and I'm having a little bit of a tough time.
It may be tough to read it monthly.
That's exactly what I was just about to say. I feel like this is going to be a collected volume kind of read.
Because it's beautiful. The book is beautiful. Like the art inside.
Oh god.
Amazing.
every time this comes up, I never get the alt cover because I love the default cover so much.
And the alt covers are cool too. Like they
are,
really cool artists to do that. Nice.
And then the very final thing I'll say, and then I'll be done, is I got back into watching Quantum Leap. I had watched the first 3, and then I kind of got busy, so I watched episodes 4 and 5. Anyone else watching it here?
I was, but I kind of stopped.
How far did you get?
Oh God, what was the last? The boxing episode, I think.
Oh, okay. Then that's where I was. So, pros and cons. All right. One con of it that's kind of driving me nuts, and this is so nitpicky of me, but I find it frustrating. If you watch the original series, one of the things that the actors did really well is when Al showed up, Sam always kind of gave this like kind of looking around, or let's go step into this corner, because he realizes he's going to look like an insane person, right?
Yeah.
In the new series, Ben and Addison just talk out in the open, and like there's never any sense of people are like, oh, this is kind of weird. They're just like in the middle of the street chatting, and I'm like, how is nobody staring at him when this is going on? Is
he wearing AirPods?
Oh, that's a good point. But no, I mean, because in like 1, he's back in the Wild West, so it's like,
oh yeah, AirPods don't work in the West.
Yeah, and so it's such. I hate being that guy, but it's so nitpicky of me. But it breaks the illusion and the fiction of the world when they do this, right? And so that's something that's been kind of bugging me. That said, episode 4, which is set in the 80s. He is in the body of a female bounty hunter. That was the first one, and so I would say, Kyle, just go watch episode 4, and then afterwards think how you feel about it, because that felt the most like the original show to me. And I want to be clear, I'm not like it has to be like the OG one, or I'm not on board, but the pace of the episodes up to that point had been so intense that I never felt like it had that like breathing space the original series did in these different times, right?
Sorry, I missed this earlier.
Yeah, that's true. It's on my business card, man. Episode 5, though, it's kind of this thing where I was watching it and I had forgotten a key piece of lore they introduced, because it starts off with Ben walking out into the Old West. And I'm like, oh, okay, so we're going to have to get some sort of explanation for how he leapt out of his timeline. I had forgotten that in the ongoing undergoing B plot, they explained how Ben's able to leap outside his time frame. So, okay, whatever. That's fine. At the end of the episode, though, and I mean, in terms of like Quantum Leap geekery, at the end of the episode, again, Ben is in a saloon openly talking with Addison. Nobody seems to care. And one of the cowboys walks up to him and taps him on the shoulder, and Ben turns around and he said, "Stop following me." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I'm telling you, Ben, stop following me." And then walks away, and he turns to Addison, he's like, "Did he just call me Ben?" And then it's like, holy shit. So now there's this C plot.
Is that Scott Bakula's character?
I wonder
if it's Scott Bakula's character.
See, that's my theory. My theory is it's Scott Bakula's character, or it's the Evil Leaper. And we don't know yet which, right? But so I will say, if you're a fan of the old show, one thing the new show does really well is it does pull from that lore and that history. And so that's what's keeping me going, is I love just the nerdery around, Ernie Hudson playing Magic, a guy from the original series, and they explain it in the 4th episode. You get the connection made, and it's actually quite powerful. So anyway, Quantum Leap, I'm gonna stick with it. I have heard the next 2 episodes, especially the Halloween one, are really good, and so I'm kind of excited to see where they take it.
I might have to binge and catch up.
Yeah, it's all on Peacock. So
it's on the cock.
It's on the cock. It is. It's
this is how we don't get hired to our next job.
Right, exactly. We're gonna be at 9.99 followers for eternity. So
Yeah. Please don't drop. Yeah. Let me get through my stuff. The last of it. A few more comics. I did want to shout out because I read Quick Stops, the new Kevin Smith comic.
Hey,
It's really fun.
I picked it up. I haven't gotten around to it yet.
It's super meta. It's of course black and white.
Hell yeah.
But it's definitely super meta. I love that Kevin Smith loves to write Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
into his stuff.
I
would too.
Does it spoil Clerks 3 at all? That was my
No,
only
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No, not gonna.
I'm about to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't wait to discuss Clerks.
Secret Invasion. Again, Marvel's doing
Nice.
it again because of course they have to. But it's so different from the first one that I actually really, really enjoyed this first issue. So really cool stuff. And Leonard came on the chat, likes Quantum Leap. So
Hey, nice.
Keep you guys going. Mark Silvestri is doing a Batman comic, and then Greg Capullo did some covers for it. So like,
okay, can I?
Wow.
I have such a horrible question. So Silvestri is the look of the era of X-Men that I read. I love Silvestri. The ad with his cover on it, I'm just looking at Batman's body and wondering where are his joints? Like, is the art throughout the book that bad, or
it was definitely not my favorite.
Okay.
Art.
I feel bad slamming Silvestri because I love Silvestri, but it's just like,
yeah, me too. It was so I definitely touched on that on the review video, but I was not super excited after finishing. I think the story's promising.
Okay.
Because I mean, yeah, it's Batman eventually having to work with the Joker, but here's what Josh is talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like one of those figures that you can't really pose.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the art inside, it's very much similar to this. I'll probably go back and check it out. I just bought these because I wanted the Greg Capullo covers. But I'll probably just read it on DC Infinite. Since I got the Ultra subscription, I could just read this next month.
You took the gamble, huh?
But hey, they prorated me till January because I had already paid for the year in advance. So
that's good.
Also, really cool book from Boom. Hold on one second. Behold Behemoth.
I looked at that.
It's about a pair of brothers and some supernatural stuff starts happening after one of them dies. I really, really like it. It is by Tate Brumble, who did the spin-off for Something's Killing Children. I think it's called House of Secret. Shit. I forget what the book is called. But it's really good. Anything with Something's Killing Children in that universe is really good. We talked about Quick Stop. Yeah. Oh, the last one. I just want to show you guys this. I'm not really reading Catwoman, but the cover was really cool.
Cover.
Of course, I picked it up. And
Who is
then, I don't even know who the artist is on this variant. Maybe Tula Lotte. It's either Tula Lotte or Jessica or Jeff Decall. I can't see the signature. I don't think this is Lotte, so it's got to be Jeff.
Okay.
But yeah, I really like the cover, so I just picked it up. So that also, actually, I guess I'll save this for my recommendation. But you guys know I went to Dallas Fan Expo. I got a commission that I hadn't heard from the artist in a while, and I was kind of getting frustrated and worried. But it was worth the wait. My Darth Maul, my Talent Caldwell came in finally, and holy shit, it looks amazing. It was definitely worth.
Wow,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. So really, really cool stuff. A lot of really cool comics this week, but that was pretty much most of it. And then the last thing I do want to bring up, if anybody had been waiting for the Bleach anime to be dubbed in English, it's finally out on Hulu. It premiered yesterday, so now I'm rewatching those first, I'll be rewatching those episodes as they air. Really nice to hear the English voice cast. For the most part, everyone came back. So really, really fun to catch up with that again. So really, really good stuff with if you like anime, we are fucking living in a golden age.
It is. It's weird, but coming from the 80s and 90s where it's so limited to where you can just find anything you want right now.
Yeah, I know. That's what I think. That's why I still kind of feel like out of the loop with it because it was always so difficult to find growing up, you know?
Yeah, if you could get one title, you're like, oh, I got this, or
Yeah.
maybe two. But now so many's available, it's like where to start. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
You have a library available of stuff for decades, and it's overwhelming.
Yeah. I mean, when I watched the original Bleach back in the mid 2000s, like I watched it the hard way, where we would have to find. They would put up episodes on YouTube like that were 10 minutes at a time. So every episode was like 3 parts. Because remember, YouTube had a 10-minute limit.
Yep, I remember.
So I watched a lot of it, like Bleach and Naruto. I watched it mainly on YouTube, either fan subs that they would upload, or whenever it would finally come out on Cartoon Network. Like it was because of the 10-minute thing. It was easier, I guess, to get by the copyright. I don't know. But I watched a lot of that stuff like the hard way. There was no easy way to like, oh yeah, I already have the service. I'm just gonna pull it up. Really, really cool. So very, very fun. Like Saturday mornings, I just wake up and watch the new My Hero Academia episode. So
Saturday morning cartoons.
That's right. Yeah, they're back. They're back if you can find them, if you have the right streamer. But that's all. We do have a bunch of reviews on the channel, so make sure to go check those out. Now, onto our main topic of discussion.
She-Hulk.
We're going to be talking about She-Hulk, the full season, spoilers galore. If you're still in the chat, let us know what you thought about She-Hulk. So we'll start, Clay, we'll start with you. What did you think of season 1 of She-Hulk? Or, yeah, I don't know if there's going to be more seasons, but whatever, season 1.
I loved it. Probably the best thing about She-Hulk is staying true to the comics. The meta jokes still worked, but the cast pulled it off. It's really like, Tatiana Maslany is from Orphan Black, where she played like 5 or 6 different characters in the show and was able to pull it off. She's so damn good that I had no doubt that she could do She-Hulk, and it was just a matter of being Jennifer or being She-Hulk.
Right.
What?
Recently I rewatched that episode. There's a few episodes of Parks and Rec where she's a guest.
Yeah, Tom wants to go out with her.
She had done sitcom, like she was a love interest for Tom.
Yeah, they had the '90s. They go skating, and she was.
Oh, that's her.
Yeah.
Wow, I did. All right, didn't even realize that. Fascinating.
She's got the comedic chops, I think. So I knew that part of it was definitely going to be for that. But Josh, what about you? What did you think of She-Hulk?
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was great. I agree that it kind of felt like and this is the highest compliment I could possibly give it. It felt like Marvel's The Tick, right?
Oh,
where yes, very good.
It didn't take itself too seriously, but that doesn't mean it's not going to deal with serious topics.
Yeah.
It finds that perfect sweet spot between superheroes and the everyday. That when you nail it, and again, I think The Tick in multiple media and this show nail it, right? They find that perfect balance where the superheroics are not what make it funny. It's the superheroes being normal that make it funny. I still kind of feel like the CGI needed a bit of work. They never quite cross that
Uncanny Valley.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say. It's not Godwin's Law. It's the other one. They never quite crossed the Uncanny Valley for me in the same way that I feel like they did with the Hulk. And I don't know if that's just because they probably took assets they had prepared for the film version that on a big screen need to be, I think, probably much more detailed and developed, and then applied that when he appears in the show, but they had to build hers from scratch. Yeah. I don't know. It never ruined it for me, but I still
it takes you out of it for a minute.
Yeah,
like when you see her face and she's talking. If they do a close up and stay on her face for a long time, it is distracting.
Yes, that's exactly when it happens for me too. It's the close up of the face. Now, that said, and I totally agree with you, Clay, it is completely pulled off by her acting. You know, she is both Jen and She-Hulk whenever she appears in either form, you know, and it's this,
and it's a physicality. It's
Yep.
her face. It's how she when she's Jennifer, how she kind of like pulls in on herself, but when she's Jen, she's out, and how she walks and presents herself. I mean, all the physical traits of it are just spot on.
Yeah.
Marvel dropped Kyle, I'll get to you in a second. Let me just drop this in. Marvel dropped a video of how they did all the VFX and the CGI and everything with like the two of the top, I guess the leaders for those teams. And I'm pretty sure they shot all this before the series came out, because they seem so happy and excited. Like,
oh no,
I don't even want to look at the comment section of those videos. Like, it's already bad enough that it's a She-Hulk thing. But the cool thing is that you do see a lot of Tatiana Maslany walking around in the CGI suit, like the mocaption suit, and like she wears like this little halo thing with Jen's face or She-Hulk's face on it, and
like a full foot above her head.
I was about to ask if she had to wear the actor that played Jar Jar Binks outfit, you know, with the like, so that the other actors knew where to like direct.
Yeah, exactly. Right? They do that for the eyes and all that. So it was that part. So I mean, it was really interesting. As far as like how it was made in the show, but I definitely agree that it was maybe not, you know, I don't know, just got to pay these people right. It's really not their fault that they're being rushed and overworked. But Kyle, what did you think of She-Hulk?
Overall, I liked it. I thought there were a few episodes here and there that just kind of like, I mean, I don't know, like I wasn't the biggest fan. I'll be straight up honest. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Johnny Blaze episode. Yeah, it was kind of just it was nice to see what do you call it, Wong. And this is the fucking hilarious part. There's a podcast I'll bring up here in a second, a podcast I listen to. It's basically like a trivia podcast, but the girl who played what's her name is actually was a guest contestant on this actual podcast.
Oh, really?
So it's actually hearing her play the slurred like, "Hey, Wongy," you know, and then go to actually.
Oh, she was Madison.
Yeah, Madison. Yeah, the actress who played Madison was on this episode. I was like, "Holy shit, she's actually smart." But overall, I liked the series. I thought it was awesome. The fact that, you know, especially I think one of the two big things I really liked about the series. One was we got Daredevil back, and my favorite part of that series was Daredevil. I'll be straight up honest. Two was all of the G to Z-list characters that got an appearance in the series. The biggest complaint is how wrong they did the Wrecking Crew.
I don't think so.
I'm sorry. I am so against that. I know a lot of people that hate that fact of how they did them wrong.
I love the Wrecking Crew, but I think the tone for the book is exactly what it needed to be for the Wrecking Crew, and the Wrecking Crew could be something else in another book. They don't have to be. They're not limited by the tone of this.
Yeah, I also think they can, now that these guys maybe they've been wrong by She-Hulk, maybe this is how they get serious, and then we'll get like So I think they could definitely. I mean, Marvel, you know, they can retcon anything.
I mean, if we're sorry.
No, the one thing we always have to remember: this might just be a ploy. Anything could be a Skrull.
God damn it! Don't ruin this for me, man. No, it's your point.
Anything could be a Skrull at this moment. So this might not even be them. It just might be Skrulls with their weapons.
Oh, guys! I have a confession. I'm a Skrull.
I knew it. Is that what happens every time Bernie pops up?
Yeah. We do the art of Bernie with a Skrull face.
Yeah.
No, see, this was awesome.
I love that episode. So good.
It's like you had Manbull, you had what's his name? Not
Porcupine, Lagila. I don't remember the vampire dude. What?
I don't either.
But yeah, I mean, how good is it to have Tim Roth back?
Not even that. Leapfrog. We got.
I know. I'm so excited.
Ribbit and Ribbit.
But I forgot my point. It's gone. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I will say I also really enjoyed the show. I think comedically, I really enjoyed everything that was happening. My main qualms was probably like, the CGI is not the best, but that's something I rarely notice. So the fact that I am noticing in a show like this, like, says a little something.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's a little bit of trivia. So they actually had an actor who we can add to the list of both being a DC and Marvel actor now.
Who's
So
that?
in the final episode, and we're saying spoilers, we actually get introduced to Scar.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot about that.
The actor who's basically portraying Scar. I can't remember which character he was.
Yeah, Scar. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like,
the
who the
young
fuck
actor
is
who plays
Scar?
him played. I can't. Who was the magician for the Injustice Society and Stargirl?
Oh shit!
You were asking a lot of.
oh wow.
Remember his son who was the magician who got killed on the bridge by the icicle?
Yeah.
That's the same actor.
Really? Under the CGI?
Shit, that's right. Yeah, that's season 1, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I know a lot of people
Wow.
were complaining about the fade.
Oh, I'm okay with it.
Whatever. I mean, the look can change. Look how much the Hulk has changed over the years.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's the thing. I really wish they'd done, but the director was talking about she actually considered getting Edward Norton back as the Hulk for that last episode. I'm like, why didn't you?
I heard about
I think that
that.
would have been a fun thing. Like, I mean, we'll definitely get into the last episode and the resolution of the show, but they really can do whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I like that this show was not like the next big building block for
Yep,
the
exactly.
next Marvel thing, right? Which, of course, I'm interested in. I want to get to the Secret Wars and the Avengers movies that they've announced, but like, I don't need every show to be that.
Exactly.
I like that some shows are like this. I love sitcoms. You guys know I'm excited to watch Young Rock and the new George Lopez sitcom that just came back.
Oh my god! I just saw a trailer for the season premiere where they have Becky Lynch as Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh my god! I watched clips on Instagram and she's perfect.
Yeah, it looks so cool. So yeah, like I love all that stuff. So obviously this is right up my alley. And now it's even got the added benefit that it's also Marvel stuff, right? But I like that it also focused a lot on like Jen, like her character, and it wasn't just about the She-Hulk, like people coming after the She-Hulk. Jen also has a lot of issues. Like she's been having it rough. Like she loses her job, she starts a new place, she can't find love. Although I don't know who wouldn't want to match on an app with Tatiana Maslany. That was probably the most
that was
part of the show.
That was the point my wife brought up when we were watching. It's like, come on, she has a hard time finding dates. But
now, granted, she did go on a few dates with these people that was like, oh my god, like each guy kept getting worse and worse. And
that's so funny though, because I think the best part is that she has to bring all those dudes and put them on the stand in a trial and have to talk about her dates with them. And they have to talk honestly about how it went.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
If you take the core conceit of this show, it's Starman, right? It is, she gets superpowers and doesn't want to be a superhero. Right. And everything that happens to her in the show is about, they don't want Jen, they want She-Hulk, right? Yeah.
What did you guys think about Mark Linn-Baker? We only got a little bit of him, but he got to play the dad, and I was really excited to see
this is what's so weird. It threw me off because he also plays the rich neighbor in The American Ghosts. And the first time I saw him recently was in that, and I had to look him up. I'm like, it's the guy, it's Balky's cousin, right? And then he showed up in and he's so nice and sweet in this. He's not like that in Ghosts. He's a total asshole in Ghosts. Yeah.
I don't watch Ghosts, but sometimes when I'm watching Young Sheldon, it'll start.
No.
Why are you watching Young Sheldon?
I told you I love sitcoms. I'll watch all of them, the good ones, the bad ones. I guess not the good ones.
I think I only watch the bad ones.
Yeah.
This one. For me, seeing him, it wasn't American Ghost. For me, it was in the last couple seasons of Blue Bloods. He was the assistant to the mayor.
Yeah.
My favorite Mark Linn-Baker is from My Favorite Year. If you've never seen My Favorite Year, it's homework. I recommend it. Go. It is him being like a PA on a movie, and he has to control Peter O'Toole, who is essentially playing Errol Flynn at the time, who is just drunk trying to get with women. And it is a fantastic film, but again, it's kind of dated, so you can put Barney up if you want. My Favorite Year with Mark Linn-Baker.
Also, I think another highlight of the show for me, these two are a gem.
Yes.
I love them so much.
He
It
is
so
such a super
good.
fan.
She-Hulk has the best of friends. I mean,
will they sell knockoff stuff? Because that seems funny enough that they would sell it.
I ordered that too, actually.
I feel like you can buy this Avengers shirt like at Hot Topic or something. I think you already can. If you think Disney is not ripping themselves off to make an extra buck.
It's Disney, for God's sakes.
I mean, I guess they technically already created and licensed the Avengers as well.
Yeah.
So there's character designs in it. I love it that it looks like kind of like the pop figures that are really popular. So that's definitely what.
Yeah. It's like the Hulk, but yellow.
Yeah, but the cast. I mean, these two and oh, I forget his name, but he was Vigilante in Arrow, right?
No, he was
Prometheus. He was Prometheus.
Prometheus.
Adrian Chase. Yeah. But well, who was Vigilante in Arrow then? I thought it was him, and then he turned to Prometheus.
No. That was the thing. In the comic books, Adrian Chase is a Vigilante, but they made him.
That's right. Okay.
Vigilante was Dinah's ex-boyfriend.
Yep. You're right. But yeah, and then let me look up the actor's name, so I'm not just saying them, but they're really, really good. Next will be the Spongers, a spongy version of the Avengers. Hey, SpongeBob's been on the air for decades now at this point, so
yeah,
I don't see that not happening.
Now, I know we've been talking about the actors and everything. We haven't talked about the showrunner, Jessica Gao. How much do you guys know about her?
Not much.
Not much
Nothing.
either. No,
she wrote the Pickle Rick episode of Rick and Morty.
Really?
So,
oh my God, that's amazing.
That is huge. She also wrote for Silicon Valley, Robot Chicken. I mean, Star Wars Detours, Kung Fu Panda, Legend of Awesomeness. I mean, she's worked on some great things, you know.
Yeah.
But that Pickle Rick episode is legendary.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best ones. I did notice Zeb Wells, who's written my, was it not Marauders? What was the other one? What was Sinister's team of the X-Men?
Marauders.
No. Well, no, the more recent one.
That was Marauders.
Maybe it was Marauders. But
it was
like,
team, but
yeah, Zeb Wells wrote that he wrote the episode with all the villains, like with Porcupine, and he's really good. He's really good at doing those, like, you know, groups of like these odd, quirky villains, or at least these like C-list characters that are not as popular. So I really enjoyed that episode. I even tweeted out when I saw his name. I was like, "Ooh, if you like this episode, go read this run of his comic book, because Zeb Wells really captures that." So here we go. Here's the cast. Ginger Gonzaga is Nikki, and then Josh Segarra is Pug. So yeah, I mean, great cast overall. Benedict Wong is like the glue that's holding Phase 4 together.
I just love anytime Wong shows up. It's so good. And then it's so weird to go back and watch him in things like Marco Polo and What We Do in the Shadows, right? Because it's those are like the extremes of the role that he plays as Wong.
Yeah, very flexible actor as far as like and then I like Titania. I like what they did to the character. I know it's different from the comics, but I think
it's a good pivot. Pivot to a troll to attack the people who would attack She-Hulk.
It makes sense with the theme of like all this, like it's all like internet culture and all this stuff. So you get somebody that's an influencer, you know, and like I think the weakest part of the show was the actual courtroom drama stuff. And listen, you could have just pick up one or two of the people that have done Law and Order, or you know, whatever. Yeah. Like though, ask Dick Wolf, like who do we get? Because I think those were some of like the weaker spots. Was just like the actual court drama, which I also want to know about. Like when you have Charles Soule, who's an actual lawyer, writing a She-Hulk comic, you're gonna get good courtroom stuff with, especially if you have Daredevil, who's also a lawyer. So like,
Right.
Yeah, but the tone has to be right because I've read really great courtroom dramas in Daredevil that wasn't a good Daredevil book.
Well, it's definitely got to be the right. But I think somebody that's a lawyer is probably more qualified to bring you something that's, you know, that would be enjoyable to watch, but you still have the funny tone. Like, I don't need this to be like a solid drama, but if you're gonna do courtroom stuff, like, it's got to make sense at least. Although then again, you have Madison like ringing into the courtroom or whatever. Like, Madison, the fact that they didn't let the actress who portrayed Madison take over the Marvel social media for the rest of the She-Hulk run was a missed opportunity.
Oh, she should be the next person who interviews people at the red carpet.
There you go.
That would be good. That would be.
Though it'd be Wakanda Forever, and that they already had their red carpet, so it'd be the next.
What do you think Madison would do if she was in what's the Camartage when the Scarlet Witch attacked?
Oh my God!
Oh shit!
You think she would have called in a favor from the goat?
Wow!
Is the goat Mephisto? So many questions.
I don't know. Yeah, like she's a great character. I don't want her to be tied to anything like that. I'd rather her to just be Madison.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I agree.
I want.
She could.
But go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, I was going to say she should be the MCU's Rick Jones.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Oh shit! Sorry.
She should be in every adventure. She should cross over, and she should start to know all the characters.
Yeah, and she's just hanging out. You know, she's like the mascot of the MCU.
She'll just FaceTime with random Avengers, Guardians, whoever.
See,
I personally like Avengers.
Avengers.
One of these is West Coast and one is East Coast. They can't decide how to spell it.
What about the Great Lakes?
Oh. I also drink Malk, so
the Great Lake Avengers, they spell it with a B.
I went back and reread one of the Great Lake Avengers #1s, and it was like, man, She-Hulk is doing this better. Like, their scene with the comedians is better than this comic, which is really kind of the same take of these bizarre people kind of gathering together. But this was probably a 7-year-old Great Lakes Avengers book. I didn't even recognize who wrote it. It was just a random book I found at half price. I wanted to pick it up and go through it. Tim Roth. They said that they wrote the Abomination as a straightforward character, but when Tim Roth got it, there is a balance of evil. And I brought this up when we first saw it, but Tim Roth waves like the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. When he looks back at his fans, he does this like over the shoulder wave. And Richard Ramirez does the fucking same thing in court, and it's terrifying.
Interesting.
You know, he had a cult of women who were his fans, the same way Abomination does. The only thing that we see in the credits is the Abomination, when he gets out of jail, he leaves the women. So they never address it again. They just kind of have it for that scene.
They did acknowledge they did change. You know, I think we were supposed to get 10 episodes, and we only got 9, and they changed the ending. So there might have been something originally planned with that.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I think when you bring in Tim Roth, you bring in there is a. I don't know. You think about the kind of characters he's played in the past. I
was so thrown off by when he transforms in the Abomination. He has the exact same voice. I was just like, that just sounds so weird. Like, I mean, you look at Tim Roth, and he's this older, kind of scrawnier gentleman, and then you got the huge, ripped Abomination, gamma radiated monster who's bigger than the Hulk, and you hear his voice like, whoa, okay.
And what's wild though is he is an influencer to some degree, that these people have hired him to talk to them, and then it's like, who are you influencing? Do you even know these people, or are you just taking the cash? Does that make you as bad of a person as the Abomination by endorsing and helping these people like build up confidence to be terrible people?
Because I'm sorry, Kyle.
Go ahead.
Well, they never directly acknowledge it, I don't think, in the episode, but all of the merchandise in the room, like his book and like the standee and the poster, right? It's all
posters are great.
Yeah, which again clearly speak to what you're saying, Clay. It's like, is is this just another way to like be bad, you know? So
I love the self-help posters by Abomination, and if they sell them, I would buy them because they're fantastic and hilarious. And it's just like a throwaway joke in the background.
yeah, exactly.
I also like the fact that Wong gets him out of jail at the end of the episode, so it's like, okay, so we can still have more of the Abomination later in Marvel.
Yeah.
Well, it shows there's a relationship between these two,
Oh,
and it's like a sparring relationship on some level, but there has to be some level of friendship or that he trusts this guy.
Right. Yeah, because he was his witness before the parole board, right? He's out because of Wong. So
is that the team up we need? Wong and an Abomination going on adventures?
No, but it's the team up we deserve.
I want Abomination to have a honey bunny. I want him to have a female to reenact Pulp Fiction.
Madison?
Oh shit! Yes.
I was trying to think, when was the last time Tim Roth did just this straight up comedy? I mean,
the joke line is Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes, but
I mean, he's very, very funny in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. But so I know he's got these comedic chops, but you don't really see him do that much comedy, I don't think.
Oh shit.
What?
I didn't realize Tim Roth had a son that was like 25. He just passed away.
Right. I saw that in the news. Yeah. His son's a musician, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just tragic.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to stay away from that. Thanks, guys. Well, let's just do it. So I like also that the villain of the show, if you will, is just this like toxic, like
Tech
internet, like yeah, like these trolls online.
What is his ultimate wish? What is his ultimate wish? He just wants to be like them.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be like the Hulk, and that's the greatest part. Is like he just really is. He doesn't like who he is.
Yeah, I mean that's usually so. The other thing I would not believe is that trolls would actually leave their house and get together at a party.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that was definitely another big leap by the Marvel machine. Speaking of, let's get into the conclusion of the show, because I think that was probably the point where maybe the audience is very split on, like, did they get too up their own asses about the fourth wall break, or was it good enough, like getting real meta? I know even I know people thought their app was malfunctioning when it switched to the menu, like the screen looked like the menu, right? And then she starts climbing down to other shows to ultimately introduce Kevin, the overseer of the MCU.
Yeah.
Like,
now I saw another version of Kevin that was more like Hal that they were going to use, and they went with this, which I kind of dig, this being a little bit better.
It reminds me, there's a video game that has a thing like this that kind of moves around, and I think also the movie Moon has a robot kind of like this. Unfortunately, Kevin Spacey voiced them, but we won't talk about that.
That's just a Sam Rockwell movie. That's what we say. It's a Sam Rockwell movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you guys think of the mega fourth wall? This felt very Gwenpool. Like Gwenpool's probably the one that's kind of pushed it the closest, where Gwenpool's actually a character from supposedly our world that went into the comics, right? So like this is kind of really out there for Marvel.
I think that we need a writer to come in to write about the fourth wall with Gwenpool, She-Hulk, and Deadpool. Like I want them to have a roundtable discussion of like, when you look, who are you talking to? Because I want to believe Deadpool is in his own head, but She-Hulk might have the answer. Like I'm very curious what She-Hulk's answer is, because Deadpool's crazy. So what is Jen's answer for who she's talking to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Gwen knows she's talking to us because she's from our world.
Well, do we get Grant Morrison to write that episode?
They should. They should.
You know, I'm gonna find.
If anybody can handle a good fourth wall,
yeah, exactly.
It's definitely them. But I like
Charlie Kaufman.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Charlie Kaufman in the MCU. No one knows who Charlie Kaufman is.
No,
I do.
Look,
okay.
If I had the brand thing on, I would have put on the Bernie again.
I'm with you, Clay. Don't worry.
Take Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, the writing and director, Whistler.
Sorry, I watched. I forgot to talk about it, but I watched Blade this week.
Oh fuck yeah, man! Chris Christopherson is a motherfucking badass. I love him.
Yeah, I'm glad they came back for the second one.
Yeah, I would love to see Chris Christopherson show up in Blade, the new Blade.
Oh yeah,
and
is he still alive?
Guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good.
I hope so.
Yeah. I was waiting for this to pop up. Let's see. Did Kevin say that She-Hulk won't be able to break the fourth wall anymore, or did I misinterpret that? I don't know that it was explicit, but I could see this being like a reason why maybe Jen doesn't break the fourth wall on another thing. Like maybe she can address it if there's a season 2 or something. Like, oh yeah, Kevin's being a douchebag and he put up some security features where I can't talk to you guys in this thing or whatever. So they could definitely write around it.
So here's my question though, because I do hope there is a season 2. Does She-Hulk then just become the kind of comedic release valve in future seasons for what else is happening in the MCU, right? Like, can she just become that kind of meta commentary?
Yeah, I think this could be like the Damage Control series that we've talked about in the past, right? Where they kind of address like all that.
Yeah,
especially because they have some. I mean, especially with everything that's coming up, like Kang and all that. Like, you can definitely really get into it. So I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be a good. And of course, when Deadpool comes into the MCU and later 2024, I think it got delayed again, but whatever. I think they'll eventually have to talk to each other and meet and then talk to us about it.
Right. But I guess the reason I'm thinking She-Hulk fills this role is because as much as I love Deadpool, I feel like that property now is so closely tied to Ryan Reynolds and what he wants to do that probably like Feige and the rest of the MCU don't like, we have to let him do his thing, but we can't guarantee he's going to make these types of comments or references, you know?
Yeah, I think that's the main reason that they probably got Hugh Jackman on board, because he's like, Ryan, I'm only doing one more.
Yeah, and I'm only doing it because of you. You know,
I can only eat 2 pounds of chicken a day for so long until
such a deep cut.
Like, cool. Is there any closing thoughts on She-Hulk before we get to Clay? Sent me a trailer for something. I'll wait for him to come back because it's a trailer for something that's not only is it old and already out. It's a trailer for something that got destroyed on the internet, but for being bad.
Nice, but that sounds about right for his taste.
I have no idea what this trailer is, but
did you see what he sent on the chat?
No, I saw the link, but I didn't click on it.
Well, we'll wait for him to come back. But do you guys have any last thoughts on She-Hulk?
No, I hope we get a season 2, which I think they've already confirmed, and I'd like to see them do more stuff like this. We don't need. No offense, I don't think we need the full out. Like, let me be straight up honest. I've been spoiled with this, and I've been spoiled especially with Werewolf by Night. I don't need these long 10 episodes. I think like half-hour kind of sitcom-based stuff, and even like specials that do like I think they said like the next holiday special they want to do is on. They're looking at Silver Surfer and Nova. I think a one-time thing like that would be perfect to introduce the character into the universe.
Yeah.
I think stuff like this, we don't need to like, no offense. I like the shows we got. Like, I know we're getting Loki season 2. I'm loving that, but like different stuff, add more stuff like this into the mix. And I think people can have a lot more fun, and you don't have to, and I don't think we're going to as much, people were very mixed on WandaVision, where people were very mixed on Captain America and Winter Soldier, stuff like that. I think we can do more, have more fun with the stuff we're releasing.
What character or team or whatever do you think would be another good like 30-minute sitcom style show on Marvel? Other than I think Damage Control.
I was gonna go right there.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, because I think that's the one we pitched in the past.
Power Pack.
I was
my-
thinking Power Pack, actually. Yeah, that's what popped into
Yes.
mind.
Oh my god!
Especially now that they folded Fox into it, they should have
Yeah.
the rights back, right? Because I think they're Fantastic Four characters.
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
I would also add the new version of oh my god, why am I blanking on it? Not X-Force, the Mike Allred.
Ecstatic.
Yeah. Like that would be a great, especially with the current version that is very much built around social media.
You're saying Mike Howard. Now I want to see Mike. I want to see the Mike Howard version of Future Foundation as a half-hour TV show.
That would be good.
That'd be cool. Oh, that could be a good season 2 because She-Hulk is part of that team at some
Oh,
point.
exactly. And is who's her boyfriend for a while?
Wyatt Wingfoot.
Wyatt Wingfoot. He's part of that too. I also want to say this because we keep talking about this as kind of like the MCU's sitcom, right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh no, I completely agree. But I was thinking in my brain how innovative this is, because if this had been a regular sitcom on a standard channel, this would have been a case of the week / monster of the week show.
Mhm.
Right? This would have been here's your case this week. It would have been less, I think, about Jen as a character, and MCU doesn't go that way, right? They're very much like, it's about the character. That's what we're going to focus on. And so I think that says a lot about the way that like the MCU operates. They're happy to break with convention to explore certain things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, if She-Hulk is the single woman in the city trying to make it, sitcom storyline, we could do so many other versions. I really think like a Great Lake Avengers is an ensemble comedy like Friends. I think that would work, and I'd love to see a comedy like that.
Well, I was telling them another show would be perfect. Would be Power Pack.
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
or
you just put a bunch of kids together.
Or if they can get off their ass, let's have a new Warriors.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Poor New Warriors, their upcoming thing got canceled because there was a bad pitch, and it was a bad pitch. I understand why it got canceled.
At
What
least
was
they
the
kept working
pitch?
in as Squirrel Girl. At least she's been even it's voicing the character. At least she's been our constant Squirrel Girl.
Yeah. Oh, I guess they should try to bring that back.
Yeah,
that would be a good sitcom, actually. Squirrel
Yeah.
Girl.
It feels
So,
perfect for Disney Plus too.
yeah.
If you can prove She-Hulk can work as a standalone character sitcom, why not Squirrel Girl?
Yeah, that's true.
Squirrel Girl. I don't know if she can carry a whole show by herself.
No, but can you imagine? Hang on. I'm just spitballing here. Can you imagine a Squirrel Girl show that is the vehicle to officially introduce Doctor Doom into the MCU?
I'm on board.
Yes.
Because she officially defeats Doctor Doom, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's canon.
And I want her to introduce the Cray van. The van that Craven drives? It's the van.
Great fan. Oh god, that'd be so great.
I'm still holding out for that Howard the Duck show.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Come on, Kevin Smith, get back on it.
Well, that's
Okay,
not his ball for at the moment.
Clay, yeah, he's busy, but
Oh no.
Clay, did you have any last thoughts on She-Hulk? That's kind of how we got talking about like other characters that would work.
I liked it. I know a lot of people didn't. They expect action and they want a superhero story and can't dream of something being, like overlapping and having comedy and stuff in it. I feel like Marvel could carry probably 2 or maybe even 3 if they're real well done sitcoms.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
I think She-Hulk, like woman in the city trope that they're using is great and should revisit it. And then she goes on adventures, with the Avengers, or does, she has different things. She's obviously gonna, mingle with Daredevil. Like if she returns to court, it would be neat to have, lovers compete in court against each other on something that they really believe in. And what does that do to their relationship? But I also want to see all the cast of Daredevil return. I want to see John Barenthal. I want to see Punisher. I want to see Power Man. I want to see all the Netflix guys return.
I want to see Jessica
Jones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
And
Really,
then-
I think if you bring Jessica Jones back, you have to bring David Tennant back. even if it's a nightmare in her head.
Yeah.
Because that character was too damn good to let go.
They just did it with Doctor Who. So
yeah, I was about to say he might be busy. So who knows? All right. Well, that's about all the She-Hulk talk we have. So I told the guys something about the link you sent me, Clay, but we're gonna watch it and then I'll tell you what I told them.
I forgot why we didn't even call the single female lawyer.
Yeah, see, you gotta diversify your portfolio for sure.
Wait. Does that mean Kevin is actually Bender?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I hope they make a Kevin action figure. That's pretty funny.
That would look cool, and it'd be expensive. Oh, make it a Lego set.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, after watching so many Halloween shows, I just really would love to have Lego sets of Halloween movies that are just really for adults and disturbing and weird.
Yeah.
I'm only in if we get the Lego set of H.H. Holmes's Murder Castle. That's what.
Whoa!
Wouldn't that be amazing?
I was gonna say that or the Winchester home.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I just gave Lego like $1 billion idea right here on the spot. So
most of their customers are adults. They can build some adult Legos.
Exactly.
I want to see the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Lego set.
Ew, adult Legos.
Yeah.
Okay, let's. Oh boy, you guys really.
I have no idea what this is.
Y'all make it really hard to segue into stuff. Okay, so Clay
we're your kryptonite.
Yeah, Clay sent me this.
A friend of mine sent me this. I hadn't even heard of it because I don't have Netflix anymore.
Okay,
and so I was kind of like, I thought this was entertaining, and I thought it was a good trailer to react to, and I hadn't heard y'all talk about it.
We haven't, and like I said, I'll tell you what I told the guys while you're away. I think this worked out really good. So let's take a look. We're gonna watch The Bubble by Judd Apatow.
Oh dear God.
Let's see.
Oh, this.
We're almost at the nest.
That sounds like a baby crying for its mama. Baby, go, baby!
And cut. That was a great take.
Welcome to the start of production of Cliff Beast 6. Thank you for joining us in our bubble.
Please make sure you're wearing proper PPE. Physical touch is, of course, off the table. So I would recommend making sweet eyes at each other. I'll show you what that looks like.
This is so exciting. It's like my movie posters have come to life.
You will soon learn to hate these people.
We are one of 2 movies in production right now. If we fail, the studio is going to go down.
I'm not a magician.
I know you're not a fucking magician. If you were a fucking magician, you'd pull a movie out of your ass. Oh my God, it's Minnie Driver. Oh, I love her.
This movie is going to make the world forget about all their problems. What we're doing is edgy. It's real.
Crystal just did a fucking TikTok with a dinosaur.
Hey guys, I don't feel so good.
Some of you tested positive for influenza.
Lauren. What's up with Lauren?
Which is the virus.
You know, this level of vomit.
There's really crazy shit going down on the Cliff Beast side right now.
Hello, I'm Doctor Strange.
I don't like it. Stop being Benedict Cumberbatch.
Hunter with the bow. She got a big bed, number drop. Mama told
You're keeping us here against our will.
There's been a breach.
I don't really even want to tie.
Send help!
Shit is getting real on Cliff Beast.
I'm a big bag hunter with the bow. She got a big bed, number drop. Mama called me and she happy with.
Are you nervous to meet the dinosaurs?
Oh, they're not real.
I thought there was an elephant wearing a mask or something.
Oh God, I hadn't even heard of that. That's great.
It's on Netflix now.
It's out.
All right. So, guys, this came out a while back. Yes,
it did,
and people fucking hated this.
Really?
Which was the fun. So I told the guy.
I just saw David Duchovny do cocaine off a guy's head.
Yeah,
How is that not funny?
Look, I don't know. I agree with you. I think this is a great trailer, but people fucking panned the shit out of this when it came out. Because I told the guys like before when you were away, I was like, Clay sent me a link for a trailer that it's not only old, but it's something people fucking hated. But we're gonna watch it anyways. So then when you came back, I didn't want you to know that piece of it since you were going.
I had no idea. I had a friend send this to me, and he's laughing at the cocaine scene, and I was like, "Oh, this looks like." But I don't have Netflix, so I don't know when this came out.
Hang on, I'm on there now. It came out this year.
Oh my God! Leonard Kim has.
Leonard Kim loves it.
Oh my God! I gotta watch this.
I mean, just with the cast alone, I'll watch anything with Pedro Pascal in it. All right, so how is that man never not funny? He's gold. If you guys want to, what?
I was gonna say, I wonder if this came out too close to COVID when we were still not ready to laugh at.
No, it came out this year. It was being made during COVID, but it came out this year.
Well, COVID's still ongoing, so
Fred Armisen looks fucking hilarious in this.
So, if you guys want a palate cleanser, I don't know if you saw, I posted it in the Discord last night, but there's another YouTube link there for a trailer to a documentary. If you guys want to see it,
yes,
sure. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, 1 second. Let me get it ready. You guys vamp. Vamp, damn it.
Oh yeah, this trailer's 8 months old. Holy shit.
That's why it was really funny when you sent it. I was like, "Why?" Thanks, Josh. I know. I said vamp, not Vogue.
It's all the only damn thing I know how to do.
This isn't. What was it? What was the reunion movie y'all talked about?
Oh, Romeo and Michelle's high school.
Yeah, this is the Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion, Josh.
Wait, okay, we've already got almost 2 hours. Why don't we pull the trailers up for Grosse Point Blank and Romeo and Michelle? I want to see what Daniel thinks of both.
Yeah, just from the trailers, I'm very curious.
All right, if y'all have time, I mean,
I got time. I want to see your response to this. Holy shit!
What the fuck do I have to do?
Did you see the link I put in there?
Yeah. So I'm gonna put that one on first, and then I'll pull up the other trailers.
Wait.
The DVD I have for this is so poor quality, it doesn't even fill my screen. Like it is chopped off at the top and the bottom. And
oh my God!
It's
it was that era of DVDs.
All right, let's see. Make sure.
And the special features are trailers.
Being an artist is a very solitary lifestyle. You sit in a room by yourself and you draw.
Dave Stevens was a once-in-a-lifetime artist.
I know what I want out of it, and I demand everything out of myself.
I saw The Rocketeer, and I was like, what is this? Looks like some kind of scrawny Doc Savage-y looking guy with a rocket pack. God, this guy can draw.
His lines were so clean and so sharp. There's a certain magic involved. A passion for what he's doing.
I threw in everything I loved as a kid and just stirred up the pot.
How do you take this masterpiece and move it to the screen? The thing about The Rocketeer, we were pitching at it as an adventure movie like Doc Savage or Indiana Jones.
In the comic, the Jenny character was based on Betty Page.
Holy cow, now you're talking.
She's been my ideal female figure since I was a kid.
Thing about him is he loved women, and not in a dirty way. He just loved women.
He captured the spark in their eyes.
I think he just really wanted to see me naked.
That's what got him into all kinds of trouble.
In the back of my mind, I always thought, Dave wants to be a real outlaw.
Good girl during the day and the naughty girl at night.
Dave definitely lived his life the way he drew.
Oh my God, he was a pain in the...
Everything had to be perfect.
This is what it's like to pursue a life as a creative individual.
It's like a diamond, you know, you crush a diamond.
You changed the way I saw life, beauty, reality, love.
What the hell?
And it's just wish there was more of it.
You want to know who David Stevens was? Look at what he drew.
Cool.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was
so good.
Coming out. Did you guys know that?
No. Was it Thomas Jane?
Yeah.
Was it?
God.
Wait,
yeah.
Yeah, he was there.
He was the bearded guy I was talking about. Changed his perspective.
Oh,
like
that was Thomas Jane? I didn't realize that at all. All right.
It took me a second to realize. I was trying to. Who's that? What's Bruce Timm?
Yeah, Bruce
Yeah,
Timm.
Bruce
Yeah,
Timm.
Timm. I saw
And
that.
Adam Hughes commented in there.
There
he is.
Thomas Jane.
That the guy smoking the pipe.
That's not Thomas Jane.
Dude,
Not
Thomas Jane is like a big hippie dude. Like
I hear he
know-
doesn't wear
I-
shoes on set.
Yeah, he would do cons here in Dallas, and he would have a panel, and he'd be like, "You guys want to go outside?" And then they would take the whole panel outside, and he'd just be barefoot smoking and answering questions.
I had no idea. That's hilarious.
All right, hold on. Getting stuff ready. Oh, God. The aspect ratio on this.
The aspect ratio. I'm telling you, man, it's a little dated.
What was the... Oh, yeah, I'll look at the other one. So we're going to watch Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion first.
Yes.
Gotta watch Daniel's.
Which is weird. I found that it spun off a TV series that didn't last very long.
Yeah, you're right.
Really?
It did?
Yeah. With Katherine Heigl.
What was the series?
That's probably why.
Romeo and Michelle. It was a prequel.
Oh.
All right.
You can
Nobody
watch it
left on my
online.
dunk on Katherine Heigl. I hate you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not.
Right.
She's not fun.
Oh, touchstone pictures. Oh my God.
Tom, you got so thin by then. I was so lucky getting mono. That was like the best diet ever.
Meet Romy and Michelle.
Remember that time I barfed from really bad Mexican food? So gross. I hate throwing up in public. Me too. Oh,
They walk the walk.
this underwear is totally riding up my butt.
They talk the talk.
Romy, did you lose weight? All I've had to eat for the past 6 days are gummy bears, jelly beans, and candy corn. God, I wish I had your discipline.
Reunion.
Are you going? I'd rather put this out in my right eye. Okay.
They'll be in a class by themselves.
We can go to the reunion and just pretend to be successful. Oh my God. From this point on, we are sophisticated, successful career women. Which one of these guys will I have sex with at the reunion?
Touchstone Pictures presents
That hurt, but it looked really good.
Mira Sorvino.
You have absolutely no proof that you're cuter. Okay, who lost their virginity first? Oh, big wow with your cousin Barry. I wouldn't brag about it.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
I put it on
Meeting the Blonde.
I know. This lady is totally sick.
Romy and Michelle's high school reunion.
And what do you think on that's for? Anyway, we are not the ones who got fat. We're pregnant, you half-wit. Well, I hope your babies all look like monkeys.
Oh my God. What year was this movie?
97. But it actually was a play. The woman who wrote and produced it had this play where they were kind of these characters that were there for comic relief that just kind of filled a void. And so then they decided to put them in a movie. And so they took that from a play and that Lisa Kudrow had originated. And then they hired Mira Sorvino, who had just won an Oscar, to do it with her. So
that's awesome.
yeah, these were already established. And the main thing is just they're the best of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only thing you need to know.
I feel like the Wayans brothers watched this movie when they were making White Chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought when they were on the dance floor scene. I'm like, oh,
Oh my
I
God.
really would love to watch this with Daniel just to see how the ending plays out and his reaction to that.
Maybe we'll do
Yeah.
a watch along. If we hit
Yeah,
it,
I
if we
would
hit
love to do a
topic.
watch along because the ending to that is really, really weird and out there. And I just want to hear you just go, "What the fuck?"
You know, if Thomas Jane shows up, I'll definitely say it. All right. Let's check out the other Gross Point trailer.
Yeah.
Another 3x4 trailer.
Jesus.
All right.
God, it's like we lived in decades ago.
And listen, I grew up in standard definition TV, and I am very thankful for widescreens. All right.
I get it.
Dear Points High alumni, can you believe it's been 10 years since you left Grosse Point?
Don't tease me, you know what I do for a living. I just honestly don't know what I have in common with those people anymore. And what am I going to say? Killed the president of Paraguay with a fork. How have you been?
Go see some old friends. Have some punch. Visit with what's her name?
Debbie. Don't kill everybody for a few days.
See what it feels like.
I'll give it a shot.
No, don't give it a shot. Don't shoot anything.
I I'm a pet psychiatrist. I sell health insurance. I lead a weekend men's group. We specialize in ritual killings. Hi, I'm Martin. You remember me?
Oh, I know who you are.
What I miss?
What, since you stood me up on prom night and vanished without a word? Babe, I got you, babe. I'll come home. I got you, babe.
Concern. You like a union?
You in trouble?
Just a moment.
Welcome back, Pointer. You haven't changed a bit.
Don't say that. What do you do, Martin? Professional killer. Good for you. It's a growth industry.
Do you have to do postgraduate work for that, or can you jump right in?
But I'm not going to. Because I'm in love with your daughter, I have a newfound respect for life.
That punk is either in love with that guy's daughter or he has a newfound respect for life.
Debbie, I'm in love with you. I know we can make this relationship work. I always control my emotions. I just need time to change. Why don't you just join the union? This union, is there going to be meetings? Of course. No meetings. I want you to think about this, and you don't have to answer it now. But Debbie, will you marry me?
So which one, based on the trailers, would you watch?
Based on the trailers, I would watch Romy and Michelle's reunion first.
Really? See. All right. Now, this just may be me as a Gen X kid, but Grosse Pointe Blank hits that perfect moment in time in the early to late 90s when let's take something criminal and play with it in a very funny way, right? Yeah. And this all comes after Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. And they purposely put Pulp Fiction in the movie. The director
really?
They were going to have Quentin Tarantino killed in the movie, but they couldn't get him, so they got a Pulp Fiction standee from Quentin Tarantino, and it's in the shop that they shoot up in the shootout.
Oh, nice. Okay. But so for me, Romy and Michelle is the kind of comedy where I would see the trailer and think that's bound to be dumb.
Yeah.
And then years later, I stumble upon it and watch and go, that is fantastic. Right.
Yep.
And, so based on the trailer alone, I'm going to go with I would go with Grosse Pointe Blank. So,
yeah. And for all the Gen X cynics, I mean, Janine Garofalo is in just a moment of the trailer, but she's a bigger piece in that pie of the Romy and Michelle.
Wait,
and pays off big.
Are not all Gen Xers cynics?
All Gen Xers are cynics.
It's
look how we grew up.
It's kind of our thing. Yeah.
It's your brand. I respect that.
Well, and I will say this also about Grosse Pointe Blank is it also, again, it is geared towards a Gen X audience because having Cusack play that role is very much a riff on his early roles, like Say Anything, right? Yeah. It's him as the romantic lead. So
I remember when you watched it in high school, look, he also grew up and now he's a hitman.
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
But man, I love Minnie Driver in this. She's so good. How do you not fall in love with her?
Yeah, she's really funny.
She has she's a fucking radio DJ playing all the fucking coolest music, and she's just fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Every shot of her is amazing.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll definitely follow up on that somehow. On our way through Clerks, I'm sure that'll relate. Let's talk about recommendations real quick before we get out of here. Josh, you want to start with yours?
Yeah, I've got two actually because I haven't been on in a while. So the first one, which is I'm proving kind of hard to show. I don't know about you guys, but I just started playing Marvel Snap.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this game is addictive. I was telling the guys before we started, I was around working in a comic shop when Magic came out the first time, and just the utter addiction that was. This feels the same way. I can't stop playing it, and it has this unique feature in it where, rather than most mobile games like this, where you feel like they're just trying to nickel and dime you to progress. This one has something cool, which is you upgrade your cards.
Yeah.
But the card upgrades are not about its abilities. It's about how it looks. So for instance, like when you first get a card, it's just like a flat card. And then when you upgrade it the first time, it breaks out of the frame of the card. And then the second time it goes 3D. So it has that kind of like I forget the term for it, but like if you turn your camera,
like
your phone, the background kind of like moves. And then the next upgrade is
like the augmented reality kind of look to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And but what's cool is as you upgrade your card, it unlocks other cards. So how you unlock new abilities to put into your deck is not by upgrading the cards you own. It's about upgrading the cards you own to unlock new cards you haven't had before. So I don't know. It is an addictive game. It's super fun. It's
all I can think of is Josh would love Fortnite.
No,
but maybe not the shooter aspect of it, just all the other stuff.
All the other stuff, yeah. Well, and it's the perfect bite-sized game as well because a game will only last 6 rounds.
Yeah,
that's it. So anyway, it's good. It's super fun. I also appreciate that a lot of the art and the logos feels like Silver Age comics. It doesn't feel like contemporary comics. You know, you have all the like Silver Age character name logos. It's just cool. It's fun. The other one I will very briefly mention. I'll share my screen.
You will try.
Okay. Well, yeah, true.
Try you will.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Only 5 days left, but this Humble Bundle for $25, which is the top tier, you get 45 issues of Heavy Metal.
Do it.
Going back to, so it's like 3 issues a year. So 77, 78, 79, 80, you know, it kind of skips a bit, 84, 86. But I mean, it is just a treasure trove of Heavy Metal comics. So, you know, it got from the 80s to the 2000s. It's very, very pin-up focused. Although I like that.
Oh, very, yeah. It's a lot of TNA. I mean, I went back and reread a bunch of them because I have them digitally. But you're gonna find early Geiger.
Yep.
You're gonna find early. You're probably gonna find some Franzetta covers.
Oh well, they reuse one down here. It's the Death Dealer.
Death Dealer
right there.
I mean,
you'll get Mobius will be in here.
Oh, for Mobius alone, that is worth the price.
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
you have not gone through Mobius art or read a Mobius story, totally worth the $25.
Yep, nice. Absolutely. So anyway, so those are my 2. More things you can do.
Well, real quick, I just want to do a quick plug before I do my recommendation. I was on the latest episode of the I Read Comic Books podcast. We read Cryptid Club by Sarah Anderson because the theme was spooky, not scary books. And this one it's an amazing book. It's lovely. So yeah, go check that out. You can find the link for that on Twitter, and I'll put it on this video as well. But my actual recommendation is something that came out this week by Hayao Miyazaki.
Oh,
Shino's
wow,
Journey.
yeah.
Whoa.
It's a manga that was made in the 80s, but it had never been officially translated. So it's finally out. It came out this week. I actually picked this up at Titan when I went to get my books. It has 2 quotes, which is really interesting. One by Guillermo del Toro, a story that is at once eternal and fresh. And the other one is by Daisy Ridley, a rare gem from a beloved master storyteller. I've also never had a manga that's hardcover.
Oh, wow.
Which
Yeah.
is really interesting. So yeah, I mean, Miyazaki, if you like all his movies, I think you'll appreciate this as well.
I think that's why it's hardcover. You just said his name.
yeah, for sure. So really, really cool stuff. Make sure to go check that out. Clay, what about you?
You know, I talked about it earlier. The Weird Al story is probably one of the best laughs I've had this year.
I agree.
Like, I laughed out loud at so many things, and then wanted to like drill down on all the special guests. I wanted to, you know, all the songs. Daniel Radcliffe is the best.
Yeah.
Like you know, you have a ton of comedians in this, but he's probably the funniest. He pulls off the best stuff.
Yeah.
the jokes go in places you don't expect. I don't know how else to really like. I compared it to Tropic Thunder after the first 30 minutes. That was how much I liked it.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a comedy from that era, but it doesn't feel like it. Maybe some of the pitfalls that those used to have, I don't think it has those. So yeah, I really enjoyed it too. Cool.
I can't.
Kyle, I see you just came up with yours.
No. I think it was funny. I was looking up something, and apparently Mark Walters just posted about a few hours ago about Dave Stevens' Drawn to Perfection.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, over here, breaking news. Thanks, Josh.
But my thing is, I would say is Blockbuster. I want to see what more people think about the series.
Yeah. We're gonna re-up on Blockbuster.
Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I didn't know it was out.
Yeah, it just came out yesterday.
Cool. So did I think Enola Holmes, if you like those movies with Millie Bobby Brown and Superman.
Keep me in to watch those. I want to. Yeah.
I really like the first one, and I'm definitely gonna watch the second one. So
I was reading an interview with her, and she says that basically she has a very adult relationship with Henry Cavill compared to her like Stranger Things co-host. Like hey, what did you do this weekend? And she goes, don't worry about it. Shut up. He keeps her very adult, whereas like the kids on Stranger Things will be very, hey, what did you do this weekend? I got high. Oh my god.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, really cool. Although sad to hear about The Witcher.
Yeah, that's a downgrade from what I hear.
I wasn't watching the series, so I got nothing built into that.
I love the first season, and honestly, I can't fathom anyone else playing that character now.
I agree. But good news about Sandman. So we take some and we win some, we lose some. So
yeah, that's true.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks everyone that was in the chat. Leonard Kim, Lego, Man Cave Theater. Greg didn't stop by today. I'm a little upset. I'm gonna call him out on Twitter.
You should.
I was looking in the chat. Leonard Kim says he has The Bubble as his best movie for this year.
Yeah. That's really
wild.
That I think we'll.
I'm gonna go watch it. Leonard Kim.
I'm gonna have to watch it. Since it's all on Netflix. 3 things we need to watch on Netflix.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, thanks everyone. I was vamping because I was trying to pull up the
outro.
That's it. This is it. There's oh, there you go. Let's get out of here.
Let's ride.
Thanks everyone for watching.
I love you.
Oh yeah. Clay.
Hail Bebo.
Josh.
Simon Center, get the fuck out.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.